Lynn, tell us about some of your favorite things in this brand new kitchen.
I'd be glad to. There's things in this kitchen that are so different from other kitchens that I've seen, and Renee helped think of all these different details that make the kitchen more functional and much prettier. This is the refrigerator freezer, and it's in a fully integrated design cabinet, and that is not an easy or common thing. So first, you have to buy these columns. This is a separate refrigerator and a separate freezer. And then it's incorporated into the cabinetry, which looks like a piece of furniture. And I just think that that is an awesome touch in the kitchen. I also liked that she was able to get someone to install this oven here right below the stovetop. And that was really functional. The drawers are a real high point. I'm trying to think which one might be clean. Like there's just Tupperware in this drawer. And it's nice not to have to open the cabinet and then reach back in there and get down and find where the Tupperware is. You can see all of your Tupperware choices. And over here, there's more deep drawers, baking goods, and things like that. In the corner, this is a special cabinet. In my previous kitchen, I had space back here that I couldn't even reach. And so I'd get down on my knees and reach way back to get something out of here. But Renee has had this installed so that it brings out a shelf from way back there so that you can access things that are all the way back in the corner. And over here, where I would normally have my spices on some sort of a rack elsewhere, all my spices are visible to me in a drawer. And I just didn't ever think of these ideas. There's the towels, linens, placemats, and even small appliances are in a drawer so that they don't have to be all over your counter. Toasters and coffee pots, coffee grinders. It just makes the kitchen look much neater. And what else did she do that I really like? The glass displays and the fact that I have all of this display area at the top. Renee was very important in the lighting design. And so where I never had lighting up above, she put those, and there's also lighting down below. And so by changing the lighting in the kitchen, it really lit it up and made it look better and more functional. She put in a really unique sink, which is right here in a very odd shape, but I liked it a lot.
It's a nice deep sink, too.
And it's deep because when you're cooking, I like to cook for bunches of people. And so the kitchen now is so much more useful for large groups. And, of course, you always have the hidden recycle and trash. And it's just a way more functional kitchen than it used to be. Also, she knew about these inserts, which I was not really aware of, that you could order them for the size of your drawers. So these and many other things like our little Lazy Susan in the middle there, and that is detachable, so if I don't want to use that, it can be taken off. And everything in the kitchen is so much more useful and so much more functional. And I could not possibly have thought of all of those different things by myself. So it's really good to have a professional with 1,000 ideas. So that's it.
That's great. Well, thanks, Lynn.
And thank you very much.
I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and we are on location at Isle of Palms talking with Renee Reichland, kitchen and bath designer with Premier Design. How are you doing, Renee?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you?
Doing great, great. Thank you so much for inviting us out to your project here. Why don't we start by just having you give us a general scope of the project?
Okay, this was a large remodel. We did everything in the house, but today we're just going to concentrate on the kitchen. The kitchen got completely relaid out, which really helped with the functionality of the space, which is what I really work on the most. The homeowner has definitely gotten more use out of her space without moving any walls just because of the general layout movement.
Kind of give our listeners, viewers, and readers an idea of where things used to be and where things are now.
Okay. We used to have the refrigerator right over here where you're seeing this pantry area. And it was a standard depth refrigerator, so it was sticking out to about here, which really didn't leave a proper amount of space, for walking and everything. Then as you went around the kitchen, straight up here along this wall, you had your microwave and oven stack. And directly on the opposite side, reflecting it, was a tall pantry. But it made it kind of like a cave to walk into the dining room. And it really didn't allow you to look into the dining room, which is also a gorgeous place.
Kind of like a tunnel, then.
It was kind of like a tunnel. The sink has not moved, but we definitely did a different sink. And now this is the refrigerator, which is nice because you don't even realize it's there. The cooktop has always been here, but we did add an extra oven under here, and that's been really helpful because I know that the customer puts on large dinners for her family.
Gotcha. Okay. Were there 2 islands here before?
Yes, there's always been 2 islands. The arrangement of the cabinets in this island has changed, which has been significantly helpful to the customer and her use of the kitchen. She didn't used to have drawers working this way. It used to only be working that way, and since her cooking surface has always been right here, it's been really nice for her to just be able to turn around and get right to her pots and pans and things that she needed immediately.
Sure, makes sense. Now, working within the same footprint, you were able to, the homeowner really wanted to maximize the space, and so tell our listeners, viewers, and readers about how you were able to not just maximize the space, but increase the storage space for the homeowner.
Okay, well, one of the ways we added lots of drawers. There's pretty much only drawers in the kitchen anywhere that there's a base cabinet. So, like these cabinets right in here, you pull out, she's got access to all of her pots and pans just right here directly on the other side of her cooktop. Also, she's got, access to all of her Corningware pieces, anything that you might be able to put in an oven or straight into the microwave. It's just really easy access right here. The drawers have been wonderful. We also put dividers in here, and since these drawers are so wide, it's not necessarily just for silverware. We've got a separate one for that. So, she knows where all of her cooking utensils are, which is really nice. So we've added this pantry in the kitchen. It's a wider one than was able to be over there. And as you get into the pantry, you see that we have some really heavy-duty drawers, pull-outs, which is really nice. Everything in here has the dovetail construction, which makes it so you can put really heavy stuff on it. And they're a little deeper than your average pull-out. And up here we have a significantly deeper one, which is really good for things that might topple over so nothing can really fall, which is very nice accent. They're also all adjustable up and down. So if the customer has something taller or shorter, they can really use this space properly to their needs.
Why drawers? Why are drawers so convenient and helpful?
Well, for a while there, people were doing the rollout trays in their base cabinets, and what you end up doing is you have to open and then pull, whereas a drawer is literally just pull. And the drawers are set at the exact same height as the rollout trays were being set inside of a cabinet. And the drawer is a deeper space. You can stack more things in it. A lot of the times in a drawer, you don't need to be able to see everything, So like some kitchens that I've done, there were not enough wall cabinets just because there were so many windows and things like that. And so you've actually been able to put your dishes and stuff in because you really only need to see the thing that's right on top. You have a whole stack of dishes and it can go in a drawer. So drawers are really useful for a lot of things. In this kitchen, it's been really nice because she has enough drawers in here that she even has like her sodas and stuff hidden. So she really doesn't have anything on the countertops, which is wonderful.
I was noticing a few of these drawers, and maybe we can walk over to the wet bar area because I was noticing that these drawers seem to carry an awful lot of weight. I mean, they seem very, very strong.
Yes, the rare pullouts that we did in here, which is in this one, were because the things were so tall that a drawer wouldn't really accommodate it. So this is one of the rare pullouts that's in the kitchen. And here in the bar, you end up having so many things that you really have to get to in the back. And so instead of having to bend down and reach all the way into the back, we put this extremely heavy-duty pull-out in here, which has been really nice because I'm sure, as you can imagine, all of this liquid and glass really weighs a lot. Sure. So that's been a wonderful feature that the customer has really enjoyed.
And you just close that pull-out drawer with your foot. I mean, it's just so easy and.
Yeah, it's just, it glides right back in. The guides that we put on it were probably the heaviest duty ones we could possibly come up with. So.
Now, Renee, as I mentioned before, you're a kitchen and bath designer with Premier Design, and kind of give our listeners, viewers, and readers a kind of a snapshot of what it's like to work with a kitchen and bath designer at Premier Design.
Well, we do not rep any cabinet lines. What we do is specifically work with the customer and or builder, doing just the layout and functionality of the space, moving things around. You don't necessarily have to go by your architect's plan, or in this case, a remodel, so we can completely move things like that around. The advantages to working with somebody like me would be, you know that I have 9 years experience in the business. You don't have to walk into every showroom around town, deal with a different designer, having everything priced differently. I'm aware of all the cabinet companies around town. I can decide which one would probably be best for your project, get things priced differently for you so you don't have to go out and do that for yourself.
Gotcha. So in this particular case, Premier Design was responsible for, to start with, the overall design of the kitchen, right?
Yes.
And then you were also able to help the homeowners choose these particular cabinets, and not just pick out the style, but then you priced them around to get them the best price on that.
Yes, definitely. That way the customer didn't have to go out and do that themselves, which normally you would have to do that. Right.
So you're kind of pricing the project around for some of the different items that are going to go in the kitchen. So you contacted different kitchen cabinet companies here in town to get the different pricing. Premier Design was also responsible for pricing and then also choosing the countertops.
Yes, definitely. We had to go to a few different places to find a color that we liked. We definitely wanted something original.
You helped the homeowner choose the appliances and oversaw the installation to make sure all of the appliances worked perfectly?
I did. I don't do that in all projects. I can pretty much take a project from the minimal that a customer wants to all the way for every detail.
You also help the homeowner choose the backsplash material for the tile here, which is beautiful. I love the traditional subway look, but it's got kind of a new spin. Is that glass tile?
Yes, it's a glass tile. It's 12 inches by 3 inches, which is also kind of a different look for that. And the other thing that I helped the customer do was we took the granite and ran it up the wall, because the granite is really like its own piece of artwork. And when you walk in from the front door, you see this immediately, and it's already got this amazing view, but now you have this other kind of piece that really pulls it through. So it's not just sitting here.
And you were saying that is kind of a trend that you've noticed. Can you describe that waterfall thing?
Yeah, it's called a waterfall effect with your granite. Most people, when they're doing it, they're running it down the side of your base cabinet, so it gives that waterfall effect. But in this case, I decided to do it up the wall instead of down the cabinet.
That's terrific. You also help the homeowner pick out the tile for the flooring in the kitchen, and also it runs throughout the house as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. In this case, the customer and I worked on pretty much the entire house. Normally, that's not what I do, but I definitely have the ability to do it. So if a customer would like to work with me all the way through, I can. But really, my company focuses on kitchen and bath design.
Gotcha. You also help the homeowner pick out all of the lighting here in the kitchen.
Yes.
And then also all of the decorative hardware, all the knobs and pulls and everything throughout the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
And virtually everything here in the kitchen, you were able to help the homeowner not just choose it to make sure it looked perfect, but then also priced it around to make sure that you were getting the best deal for the homeowner.
Exactly. That's definitely part of what my company does.
So the big challenge here, and it looks like you accomplished it with flying colors, was to take an existing space without having to tear down walls and bring an engineer in and build headers and what have you. Take that existing space, update it with brand new cabinetry and flooring and countertops and appliances and everything else that we just mentioned, and do it all in a very specific timeline while the homeowners were on vacation. Tell us about that.
The homeowners were out of town for a month, so they really missed the demolition and the majority of everything. When they came back, I think appliances were still being installed because it was an extensive project, but they definitely got to miss the majority of the disaster, which I'm sure they appreciated.
I'm sure. Well, that's great. And, when you've got that deadline of them returning, it's that clock is ticking that puts extra pressure on you.
Definitely. We had to plan it out, make sure everything was ordered in advance, so that it would all just be here waiting, ready to go for when the customer was gone.
That's terrific. And Renee, tell our listeners, viewers, and readers about your background. You are as we've mentioned before, you're a kitchen and bath designer. You have a degree in interior architectural design?
Yes, I do. I have the ability to work on floor plans, move anything that's not load-bearing, completely redesign, which is what a lot of my builders use me for, which is really nice. They don't have to go back to the architect as long as I'm not moving something load-bearing, which saves them a lot of money.
Sure, yeah. And you work on AutoCAD. Tell us about that.
I have worked on AutoCAD in the past. I'm currently not using it, but I definitely have the ability to. The kitchen and bath design program I use is called 2020, but I can use it for floor plan layout completely also. So instead of having to own two different design programs, I just use the kitchen and bath one for all of that.
Gotcha. And you were telling me off camera before we started the interview that typically what you'll do is come to the homeowner with 3 different design options, and which I think is great because I'm sure your customers love seeing how things could go differently, different options, and then what happens after you present them with the 3 different design options.
So one of my favorite things after I show the different ways a kitchen can be laid out, a customer says to me, "Oh my, I never even realized that it could happen that way." And I've even worked with builders directly doing their own personal homes and had a couple of them say, "I never even thought of it like that." And they've been doing this forever. So that's definitely one of my favorite things. But once we get the 3 designs out, generally we go and pick and choose little pieces in and out of each design, and then I pull it back together for a final design. And it usually comes out beautiful.
Well, that's terrific. Well, tell everyone how they can get in touch with you at Premier Design.
I have a website, which is premierdesigncharleston.com. It definitely has some of my project portfolios in it. It gives a little bit more of a description of the company. From there, you can send me an email directly. It also has my telephone information. So really the best way to check out my work is online at the website.
Okay, good deal. Well, we have been talking with Renee Reichland, kitchen and bath designer with Premier Design at a beautifully remodeled kitchen on Isle of Palms. Thank you, Renee.
Thank you.